lately. Dan, so I guess maybe not, we're not too fire season yet, but how are we looking kind of post storms?
Well,
kind of
yeah,
in the middle, right?
the clouds, the marine layer really putting kind of a cap, or at least a false start, not a false start, just a slow start to our fire season, which is some good news. Now keep in mind, a lot of our inland areas are already drying out. So there's a lot of brown grass out there, dry grass, so chance of fires out there is a little bit higher, but when you're under a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 foot deep marine layer, Maxwell, then that moist air does act as an inhibitor. I forgot to take a sunset picture tonight. I kind of got off my routine this evening. So this picture I just grabbed from a webcam. This webcam actually is up on Loma Prieta, which is at around 3,700 feet, just looking down on the clouds, so maybe a couple hundred feet below. We'll call it a 3,500 foot deep marine layer today. At least this evening. It was even deeper this morning, but tonight, it's about where we are sitting. And under that is basically 99.5% of the entire KION viewing population. So most of us under that marine layer today. Our hot spot across the viewing area today, New Idria, for the second day in a row. Have you ever been to New Idria before? It's a fascinating place. I know there was a lot of mining that took place there a long time ago. It's kind of a ghost town. There are some folks living in there, in the area, up and down the creek below there, I think. When you're driving through New Idria, I just feel like, you know, there's a lot of, it feels like there's like eyes looking out at you from the windows. That place. It gives you a few goosebumps. You should check it out sometime. Don't drink the water. Hollister, 65, mid-60s in Salinas, Monterey, 62. About where we were yesterday. Watsonville was a little bit warmer today by 2 degrees because, well, you had some sunshine this afternoon, a change from yesterday. Santa Cruz, 56 for a high today. You might as well have just been in the ocean, which was 55 degrees at that point in time. There's almost no temperature difference. It was cold in Santa Cruz again today. In fact, a degree cooler than yesterday. I have no explanation for that. I mean, there was even more sunshine nearby, so why it was a degree cooler today is a mystery to me. Some of these mysteries make being a meteorologist fun. It makes it more challenging and more exciting. Why was it a degree cooler in Santa Cruz today? We may never know. Is it worth looking into? Probably not. It might be an averaging, rounding thing for us. The big trough of low pressure is still sitting across the west coast, allowing for that deep marine layer because it's not pushing down on it. It's allowing it to expand, kind of like your belt line after Thanksgiving dinner. We got some thunderstorms across the Great Basin. There was a tornado outside of Elko, Nevada today. Not a place you normally think of tornadoes. There was also a tornado in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Okay, they get them there. Also a couple other tornadoes near Clovis, New Mexico. Is kind of keeping an eye on things this It's in the middle of storm season, of course. I'm kind of a storm nut, so that's where my brain goes. But tornadoes in weird places is a fun, interesting thing to me. It may not be to you. Let's talk about your holiday weekend forecast. This trough of low pressure on the west coast is going to stay here all the way through the weekend. It looked initially like it was going to begin to depart Friday into Saturday, and if you stop things right here, that's what it looks like, right? Friday, it's like, okay, it's on its way out. We're starting to see the ridge build in, but unfortunately, starting yesterday, we started to see this trend where the trough kind of back builds, or another lobe of it swings down the coast and reinforces the cold air on Sunday. So I had to make an abrupt forecast change yesterday due to this trend, which is going to mean cooler temperatures across the board for us pretty much all the way through the holiday weekend. That includes even some of our far inland areas. So I was, a couple days ago, like, yeah, looking pretty hot at the lakes this weekend. It's not looking as hot. 70s, it'd still be nice, but not 95, can't wait to put my toes in the water temperatures. That's just not expected this weekend. Speaking of the water, let's talk about that beach forecast this weekend. Many folks probably wanted to head there. So this is basically a kind of an average forecast Friday through Monday. We're not going to see a lot of change day to day. Air temperatures will be in the upper 50s to low 60s, so certainly not warm for this time of year. Could be colder, I suppose, but probably not much. Water temperatures sitting around 55 degrees. Not great swimming weather. Winds in the afternoons will pick up, could gust as high as 25 miles per hour, so briefly windy in the afternoons, mostly just breezy. Waves not going to be a major issue, and if you do get some sunshine, skies will stay partly cloudy, meaning we'll get a little bit of afternoon sunshine in some areas. Mornings will be cloudy, nights will be cloudy. Waves around 2 feet, as I mentioned, but that UV index could get into the high side if you do get some sun. In the meantime, overnight tonight into tomorrow, another morning full of low clouds, patchy fog in the hills, maybe a little drizzle out there. I'm not seeing any super big indications of that. Tomorrow afternoon, like today, we should get partial clearing around the bay. You might get a little sunshine in Santa Cruz tomorrow for the first time in a couple of days, but not a lot of it. We're going to call it partly cloudy around the bay during the afternoon, and then tomorrow evening, of course, those clouds will thicken back up again. As for your temperatures, I'm warming you up to 61 in Santa Cruz tomorrow, assuming you get a little sunshine. 60 in Capitola, maybe some low 60s in the Santa Cruz Mountain Valley. It's going to stay in the 50s up high, though. Still cool in the mountains. On the east shore of the bay, low 60s for us. Mid 60s to Salinas, so warming up just a tad. Hollister, 67. Getting close to some 70s in some areas, maybe in the south. We'll talk about that in a moment. On the peninsula, low to mid 60s tomorrow. That's 64 in Monterey, just a touch below normal for this time of year. But King City at 70, almost 10 degrees below normal. So you can see we're quite chilly inland for this time of year, even though it looks like temperatures will be a little bit warmer across the region tomorrow. And over that 7-day forecast, we might add another degree for Friday and Saturday, but still highs on the coast expected to be below normal. Partly cloudy during the afternoon and cloudy at night. Clouds increase on Sunday. We might see a really thick May gray day Sunday as the secondary trough builds, and Memorial Day looking a little bit warmer, but still seasonably cool. Just not seeing anything that leads me to believe we're going to get too much warmth on the coast over the next 7 days. Inland areas a little bit more of an up and down temperature trend. We go up through Saturday, then down Sunday, then head back upward as we head through the holiday weekend. The weather, Maxwell, as they say, is multi-dimensional.
Well, there you have it. Thank you, Dan.